Like, can you look back and think, right, that was like the red flag. That was the start of it. God, if I'd known that, could I have like, I don't know, paused things or asked for help?
Mm.
Or is there any like, I suppose, like telltale sign or something like that?
Yeah, I guess there is. The problem is with me that I was dealing with like two very different personalities. I off air would be very self-conscious, didn't feel I had any self-worth. I hated myself. I used to
Okay.
self-harm. I really, really wasn't happy with who I was or happy in my skin. But then when I went on the microphone, it was like people only got my voice. They didn't have to see me or anything. I loved the beauty of radio that, literally it was the voice and nobody needed to know anything more. So I was living a very high and a very low life. And that balance can be quite hard to keep. I know throughout my 20s and, early 30s, people were saying to me, maybe you should drink so much, just calm down a little
Yeah.
bit. And I was getting that, but I was paying no attention to it whatsoever. But, a lot of people saw the red flags long, long before I did. But like, I also had mental health issues from the time I was 15. I suffered with depression and anxiety, and like I said, self harm. And there was a number of suicide attempts. So, life on mic and off mic were like two
Wow.
completely different lives, completely
Okay.
different. And then in my early 30s, at that stage, I had met a great guy. We got married, I had a child. But also at that time, I had an acute mental breakdown. And while I was in hospital for the nearly 2 months, they diagnosed me with borderline personality disorder. So at that
Okay.
point, they pieced everything together. And believe it or not, the drinking and the spontaneous behavior and the unpredictability is all part of borderline personality disorder as well. So literally by me drinking and partying on this, it was fueling what was already a very dangerous situation. But it took a long, long time for me to understand that this was an issue. I kept thinking I'm bigger than this,
Yeah.
I can
You can beat
control
it.
this addiction.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to get me. And
Yeah.
because I was functioning and holding down a job and I was married with a
Yeah.
child and, I thought everything was fine. But it wasn't. And the wheels, like you said, do come off.